How to sharpen a couple of knives today. So I've got my whetstone, which has been soaking in some water for about 30 minutes. It's actually, you usually wait until the bubbles stop appearing from the side of the whetstone. It means it's totally soaked. So I'm just going to grab this out of here. I usually put down a piece of cloth to stop the whetstone from moving. I'm starting from the 1000 grade side first, and then now I've got a 4000 grade side on the bottom. I've got two knives here. I've got a stainless steel yanagi, which is flat-sided on the left hand side, and it's got a bevel on the right hand side. Most knives that I have in the kitchen, this is a standard Western knife, but you've usually got a 15-degree bevel. So that one's got a bevel on both sides, 15-15, which turns out to be 30, and that one's got a flat-sided with a 15-degree bevel, so that's actually a lot more acute, that one. So if we start with that, so I usually have a little bit of water on the side to get the whetstone, if it starts getting a bit too dry, but you usually want a little bit of moisture on the top, so I usually put like a drop or two to start off with. The most important thing when sharpening a knife is to use the whole stone. So I usually start off, a lot of people just concentrate on the middle, so I usually just go down the middle, and what happens is over time you'd actually wear away the stone, and actually it's not very effective in sharpening your knife because you're actually going against the stone. So the way that you start normally, because it's got a 15-degree bevel, if you think that's 90 degrees, halfway is 45, half of that is 22 and a bit, and then I usually take it down a little bit further than the 22 and a bit degrees, so that gives you about 15 degrees. If you're not sure how to get that, a little trick that I've learned is to put a permanent marker down the edge, all the way down your knife first, and then you just start sanding away and see the angle, see where you're actually wearing away the permanent marker, and that's actually a good way to start when you're first starting to sharpen your knife. So if you want to find out what the bevel is, that's a good way to do it. So we'll start with the yanagi. Now it's actually quite important to actually keep consistent the angle when you're sharpening, and try and use the whole stone. Okay, so you actually don't lift, you just go straight forward and back, okay, and just try and use the whole stone. Wait a bit. And what you listen to, the sound is actually quite important, so if you actually start moving it, it actually changes the sound, the actual noise that comes from the stone different, starts to change as you sharpen the knife. You don't have to go very fast, but what's important is you actually want to start creating a little paste. After about 10 minutes or so of doing this, quite lightly, I actually don't press down very hard. It's probably just about the weight of my hand. That should be enough, and you can actually almost see the actual the paste starting to form. So what you actually don't want it to get too dry. So if it starts getting a bit too dry, you actually start adding like a drop of water or two. So make sure you have that paste going, and then you always go towards the edges. So that corner there and that corner there are the ones that you usually miss out on. So I usually try and do that with the tips of the knife, and then the heel of the knife as well on that side. And then make sure you do the whole knife. Alright. So you do that for about 10 minutes. I won't do the whole 10 minutes now, but that's about it. And then you start getting a little paste. And what happens is, you actually start getting a nice little sharpen. You can actually feel the edge on there, and then what happens is you actually create a thing called a burr. So the metal actually curves in around. So with a yanagi knife, because it's flat here, I actually put it down flat onto the stone and give it a really light grind on that, and then I repeat the process on the 4000 side to get a little polish. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the standard Western knife. My knives are usually fairly sharp, so I usually do this probably every couple of weeks. I like my knives very, very sharp. With a Western knife, you'd actually do the other side, 15 degrees. So now it's starting to get a little bit dry. Another drop. It's the paste that actually creates the abrasive stone that actually sharpens the knife. So you want to make sure that you keep your 15-degree angle. And then I'll do the same thing with the 4000. And that actually just gives you like a mirror polish. It actually makes it a little bit sharper. Alright, let's just see how. Get a bit of a clean. Tomato here, let's just see how sharp that is. Alright, that's pretty sharp. Alright, there we go.